The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. Not always, but usually, because real power doesn't need to announce itself. Real power doesn't need validation. Real power doesn't need you to know it exists. It just moves, quietly, strategically, and by the time you realize what happened, it's already done. This is about the difference between performing power and actually having it, between talking about what you're going to do and just doing it, between needing people to see you and not caring if they do. And if you understand this, you'll stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself to people who don't matter. Let me tell you something about powerful people that nobody talks about. They don't explain their moves. They don't justify their decisions. They don't announce their plans. They just execute. And while everyone else is busy talking about what they're going to do, powerful people are already 3 steps ahead. This isn't about being mysterious for the sake of it. This isn't about playing games. This is about understanding a fundamental truth. The more you talk about doing something, the less likely you are to actually do it. Because talking gives you the dopamine hit of accomplishment. Without the work, it gives you validation without the results. It lets you feel productive while staying exactly where you are. But powerful people know this trap, so they don't fall into it. They keep their plans private. They keep their progress quiet. They only speak when the work is done. Not because they're hiding, but because they know that silence protects focus. Here's what happens when you move in silence. First, people can't interfere. They can't talk you out of it. They can't plant doubt. They can't offer unsolicited advice that derails your momentum, because they don't know what you're doing. And by the time they find out, it's too late to stop you. Think about how many good ideas have died because you told the wrong person at the wrong time. How many plans got abandoned because someone said that's not realistic, or you should probably wait. That doesn't happen when you move in silence. Second, failure stays private.
If you try something and it doesn't work, nobody knows. You don't have to explain. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to deal with people's judgment or pity. You just adjust and try again. But when you announce everything you're doing, failure becomes public.
And public failure creates shame. And shame kills momentum. Powerful people eliminate this risk entirely by keeping their experiments private until they succeed. Third, success becomes undeniable. When you finally reveal what you've been working on, it's not a promise. It's not a plan. It's not something you're hoping to do. It's done. And there's something incredibly powerful about presenting finished work instead of future intentions. People can doubt your plans, but they can't doubt your results. Now let me tell you why weak people do the opposite. Weak people announce everything, every goal, every plan, every minor achievement. Not because they're proud, but because they need external validation to believe in themselves. They need people to hype them up. They need encouragement. They need someone to tell them you got this before they even start. And that's the problem. Because real confidence doesn't need cheerleaders. Real confidence is quiet. It knows what it's capable of without needing others to confirm it. Weak people also announce their plans as a form of pressure. They think that telling everyone will force them to follow through. But it doesn't work that way. What actually happens is they get the social reward of being seen as ambitious without doing the actual work. And then when they inevitably quit, they have to explain themselves to everyone, which creates even more pressure, which makes them less likely to try again. It's a vicious cycle that keeps them stuck. But powerful people skip all of this. They just start in silence, without permission, without announcement. Look at how Ayanokoji operates. He never tells anyone what he's planning. He never explains his strategy. He never reveals his full capability until it's necessary. People underestimate him constantly. They think he's average, unremarkable, not a threat. And he lets them think that, because while they're dismissing him, he's observing them, learning them, positioning himself exactly where he needs to be. And when he finally makes his move, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's just effective. And by the time people realize what happened, the game is already over. That's the difference between performing power and having it. Performance is loud. It needs witnesses. It needs applause. It needs constant validation. Real power is silent. It doesn't need any of that. It just acts. So how do you actually move in silence? First, stop announcing your goals. Just work on them. You don't need to post about it. You don't need to tell your friends. You don't need to make it official. Just start. Today. Right now. Without ceremony. Second, share results, not intentions. If you're building something, don't tell people until it's built. If you're learning something, don't announce it until you've mastered it. Let your work speak for itself. Third, ignore the need for validation during the process. This is the hardest part. because your brain will want recognition. It'll want people to know you're working hard. It'll want credit for effort. Resist that urge. Keep your head down, stay focused. Let the discomfort of being unseen fuel your work instead of derailing it. Fourth, become comfortable with people underestimating you. Let them think you're not doing anything. Let them think you're stagnant. Let them think you're playing small. Their perception of you isn't your problem. Your progress is. Fifth, move faster than people can react. By the time someone realizes what you're doing, you should already be done. This eliminates interference. It eliminates doubt. It eliminates competition before it even starts. Here's what most people don't understand. Silence isn't about secrecy. It's about protection. You're not hiding because you're scared. You're protecting your focus from contamination. You're protecting your motivation from people who don't believe in you. You're protecting your timeline from people who think you should wait. You're protecting your success from people who would rather see you fail. And that protection is what allows you to move at full speed without resistance. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. When you start moving in silence, some people will get upset. They'll say you're being secretive, distant, mysterious, like you think you're better than everyone. Let them say it. Because what they're really upset about is that you're no longer performing for them. You're no longer seeking their approval. You're no longer giving them access to your plan so they can judge or interfere. And that loss of control over you bothers them. But that's not your problem. Your job isn't to make people comfortable with your growth. Your job is to grow. Here's what happens when you fully commit to moving in silence. You become unpredictable. People can't track you. They can't anticipate your next move. They can't prepare for you. You become efficient, without the distraction of explaining yourself to everyone. You get more done in less time. You become selective. You stop sharing your life with people who haven't earned access to it. You become powerful. Real power, the kind that doesn't need announcement. And the beautiful part, you stop caring if anyone notices. Because your results speak louder than any announcement ever could. So here's my advice. Stop telling people what you're going to do. Just do it. Stop posting about your plans. Just execute them. Stop waiting for permission or validation or encouragement. Just start, in silence, without fanfare. And 6 months from now, a year from now, let your results do the talking. Let people wonder how you did it. Let them be surprised. Let them underestimate you right up until the moment they can't anymore. Because that's how powerful people move. Not with noise, not with performance, not with announcement, with silence, with focus, with results. And when you finally speak, it's not to explain what you're going to do, it's to present what you've already done. And at that point, there's nothing left to say. The work speaks for itself.